photon torpedoes 2, 4, and 6. Widest possible scan.
Hi, sir.
Alright, welcome back to Martial Geeks, guys. So, I was going through my old community posts just to find a post I made about like some logical arguments or whatever, just to remember what it was exactly. And then right underneath it, I found this. Well, this could be just a jokey fun video, or it could become a shit show. Now, I thought about making a video and sort of elaborating further on this whole thing. In all honesty, please, this is just a joke, okay? So, the whole idea of this sort of D&D grouping isn't indicative of reality. These are descriptive presets, and in real life, things aren't so black and white or whatever. So really nothing more deeper than that. It's quite shallow. And not to mention that the way I judged it isn't really super clear. The whole chart is just based on random arbitrary ways that I thought of it, if that makes sense. So like the further evil down you go, it's more getting into like bullshito stuff and the way that the martial arts stuff is presented, but it's also mixed in a bit with the personalities, but it's totally arbitrary and isn't indicative of reality again. But I thought about that it might be fun. And as I said in the original post, when I made this as a joke, each one of these YouTubers has something cool going for them and I respect them in a different way for different reasons. So this isn't any drama type thing. But I'm sure people who watch this channel also watch a lot of these YouTubers, or at least are familiar with some of them. So it might actually be fun to just like mess around with this whole concept. So should we get into it? Yeah, I think so. Let's go. So number 1 spot, lawful good. It's Ramsey Dewey.
It's Ramsey Dewey. It's Ramsey Dewey.
It's Ramsey Dewey.
So it is.
I think for most people that watch his channel, this is self-explanatory, really. In the way he conducts himself and in the way that he produces content and everything, it's just very genuine, positive personality. And in terms of just martial arts stuff, he best fits the description and this sort of box that will be lawful good. He doesn't just outright poo-poo other martial arts that he doesn't like, he gives specific reasons and is actually quite open-minded. Much more so than some like MMA gym bro critics in the comments, but again is very critical and objective about things that he talks about. So I think that was quite an easy one. So we move further. We've got neutral good, and that's Rokas here. I think that definitely describes him best because he's just really doing his own thing, sharing his own journey, and he's come from Aikido, then got disillusioned, and then started MMA and combat sports and all this stuff. But really, he hasn't made, outside of just pissing off Aikido traditionalists who don't spar, outside of that, he's been very just neutral in terms of, let's just do the thing, share his experiences. And obviously, whatever you do on the internet will piss somebody off. But I think that was quite an easy one as well. Now, this is chaotic good, and it's Icy Mike. And I think this definitely describes him well. Just like Rokas, just like Ramsey, he's on the right side of martial arts conversation in terms of talking about functional stuff and being objective about whatever. He's not, just like them, they're not selling bullshit, so there's that. But the way he goes about it is quite chaotic. He likes to poke and sort of create bits and pieces of drama and talking points. So that's a lot of chaos that's in him. And coming from Street Beefs and just knowing how chaotic that whole thing is, I think that definitely describes him as a chaotic good. Alright, next up we've got lawful neutral. And I think that Jesse, the karate nerd, kind of fits this the best. And why I think so is because there are things on his channel where he goes into esoteric martial arts and different schools of varying degrees of quality or whatever, and famously had made a whole video with Steven Seagal, which most people agree is not the best person, but he sort of did it for the documentation of the thing. But that's a very, you know, like a neutral viewpoint where it's not, oh, I'm gonna make like a hit piece on him, and I'm also not like some bullshito master. Jesse's a good guy, but he sort of sticks to that idea of just lawfully being neutral when making these videos. So I think that really fits him well. Next up, we've got True Neutral, and I put Jeff Chan here. And again, you can always make arguments for more and interchange everybody in different ways. It's all arbitrary anyway. But I put him here because from all of these, he has the least sort of opinion videos on things. It's mostly just doing his own thing, just sparring, and really neutral because he doesn't stick to like just one thing. He's fought in MMA, like is a Muay Thai guy, BJJ guy, all the typical traditional combat sporty things, but he's also done videos with Kung Fu guys and showcased some Kung Fu and covered Bruce Lee's stuff as well. But it's never from like an opinion thing, like, I've got things to say. It's just, oh, these are martial arts stuff, these are techniques, and here's how you do them. So it's very neutral in a true sense, which is different than like the lawful neutral like Jesse, who goes out there and finds Seagal and films him, but doesn't go into like opinion territory. So yeah, now we go to chaotic neutral. So very much in the style of being sort of on many different sides of the spectrum of martial arts, I'd say it's Dan the Wolfman, for sure. Because he is a proper fighter, combatives expert, isn't a bullshito guy at all. But he's also shown a lot of Aikido and esoteric stuff and how to use those things for real and what's their purpose, but also being like a combat sports MMA guy, among many other things. And also being quite opinionated and sort of controversial, and again, I don't care about drama, but sort of playing the game of being on every side, like poo-poos somebody for whatever reason, but also gives them respect, just makes that cycle quite apparent, at least from what I've seen. But in terms of his martial arts stuff, he's very much an expert in many different things and sort of fits many different categories within martial arts, if that makes sense. But it's quite chaotic because of the drama videos. So I think that really feels like a good description for somebody who would fit the box of chaotic neutral. Now we go further into the territory where it says evil. And again, I don't think any of these people are evil. Please, this is just a joke. It's all exaggerated fantasy stuff. So please. But in terms of lawful evil, I put Dominic Itzo here. And honestly, I think that he'd f***ing laugh about it. I could be wrong, it could be offensive, I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but for the upteenth time, this is just a joke. But I put him there because, so the word lawful in this means that he's sticking to a set of principles, and there's sort of a righteous type thing within what he does. And on YouTube, he's stirred up so much shit. And by the way, I believe his Wing Chun is genuine. Honestly, in my opinion, everything that he says, for the most part, about Wing Chun, I think is perfectly fine. But the way he conducts himself, the way, like, he made a huge video where he explained why he doesn't like Bruce Lee, and it ended up being uploaded on Bruce Lee's birthday, and he pissed so many people off, just given by things like that he likes to poke people and sort of get the aggressive responses back and laugh at it. That sounds like something that really would fit this box, because it's not just like utter chaos, like it's calculated and it's lawful. So yeah, that's what I think. Now we get to neutral evil. And I put Jake Mace here. And again, no disrespect to any of these guys, but there's inter-YouTuber drama in between almost all of these, and I don't give a f*** about that. But what is true is that, you know, Jake Mace would show Kung Fu stuff, but no sparring ever, and people always criticize that, and that's like sort of a very old and tired thing to still be doing. There's so many great YouTube channels that do Kung Fu and they show sparring and all this stuff, so it's easy to poke fun at him. And I think for the most part, for a reason, you are not actually showing this stuff done for real, you're just teaching people and sort of saying that it does, but it might not because there's no actual sparring or fighting. But again, it doesn't seem like somebody who's negative. Again, I don't know much about him outside of general YouTube martial arts stuff. Again, doesn't seem like somebody who's out there and trying to aggressively to like show, no, my stuff is real and it works and you all guys suck. He's just doing his own thing. So that's the neutral element. But then not having sparring and teaching this kung fu without actually showing the applications, that's where the evil part comes in. And then, finally, to sort of finish up the spectrum from Ramsey Dewey to chaotic evil, which is the complete opposite of Ramsey, is Master Wong. I think it's such a perfect way to sort of get like the opposing ends of the spectrum, especially since they had beef. But again, it's similar stuff where there's so many big videos showing so many of these Wing Chun Kung Fu stuff, but never any sparring, never any proper rigor put into showing that these things work. So it's a lot of just saying things without actually backing it up with evidence. So that's always critiqued on YouTube, and for a good reason. But the way he goes about it isn't like Jake Mace, again, from what I've seen. He's very in your face, chop the balls off, grab the groin, big problem. So that's just like chaos incarnate. So I think that just describes them perfectly. And that's about it. This was quite a stupid idea, but I think it'd be funny. No doubt people will be pissed off, because there always are. But for those who aren't pissed off, hopefully they will find some joy and fun and maybe genuine introspection about these things. And that's pretty much it, I think. Don't have anything much more to say, except that all these people are cool in their own separate ways. But if this generates some sort of drama, I think it's obvious at this point that it's just poking fun at the whole idea and just sort of engaging with the YouTube martial arts sphere. So yeah, anyways guys, a lot more videos coming, and that's about it. Thanks for watching and take care.